Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Happiest Hour on Earth. I'm your host, Chris.
And I'm your other host, Emily.
It is a very exciting time for Disney fans because in 2 weeks, D23 starts. And this year's very, very special because usually it's all at the Anaheim Convention Center. Well, this year for the 3 big showcases that happen at 7 and then I think 5 on Sunday night, they are moving it to the Honda Center. And so to give you a little example of how big this is, Hall D, which is the biggest convention room at the Anaheim Convention Center, holds about 15,000 people. Well, the Honda Center holds 19,000 people, I believe. They're adding about 4,000 people to these big events. So we're expecting something big. We cannot wait to get into this episode talking about what we think will be announced, maybe some crazy predictions. So before we start, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button and that subscribe button. It really helps our show a lot. And if you're listening on a podcasting platform, go ahead and click the follow button, write us a review, rate us 5 stars. That would mean so much to us. But without further ado, let's get into our predictions.
All right, we are ready to jump into our D23 predictions. There's so much anticipation. I
know.
I just have no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
I'm excited, but also cautiously excited.
Yeah. I hope.
You just never know what you can trust, you know?
Because last year was very surface level. These could come. And I think that we're going to hear more detailed plans about those. Yeah. But it was very wishy-washy.
A little cryptic. Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like we will probably get a lot of ideas and possibilities while not necessarily knowing which of those will really happen and how long it will be before anything actually happens.
Yes. I would be fine if they solidified last year's wishy-washy plans then brought up some new. I just want a good balance. Yeah. I don't care if they do this could come here, as long as they balance that out with we are planning to do this and this is also in the works that we talked about last year. So hopefully we get a nice balanced presentation. It's so exciting.
I hope so. But we did get quite a few listener ideas on Instagram. We put up a question box over the week to get some of your guys' ideas.
Yeah, what you guys are most excited for. Yeah. And hopefully these come true.
Yes, hopefully. But we got a lot of them and quite a few that were Disneyland focused. Yeah. So that's the first big chunk of these. So I'm just going to kind of read through some of the predictions from our followers real quick. So we have at Lulu Buzz and Memories, who said Disneyland Forward, I need to hear more details. Same. At Disney_Telegraph said something big for Disneyland's 70th anniversary.
On that, true? Yeah, I don't think anything new will happen during it unless it's a new show they're working on or something like that. But hopefully there are some big party celebration announcements for sure.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Next at Live, Learn, Dream Magic said solid plans for Walt Disney World. Excited to hear about Disneyland Forward too. Yeah. Good stuff. At Rox Lehman said Dinoland to Tropical America's timeline and something related to Disneyland Forward. That's a big topic.
It did just get approved a month or two ago. Yeah. So super exciting.
Very much in anticipation about that.
Yeah.
At Meg.Crofton said, what is happening beyond Big Thunder and with Disneyland Forward? Very exciting. At Country Critters said Tomorrowland getting updated and about the new lands for Disneyland Forward. A very, very big question mark for everybody. Yeah. At Jordan the Park Hopper said Tomorrowland. It won't happen, but I can still hope.
That's where where we land too. Yeah, I think we've been wanting to hear about Tomorrowland, refurb or retheme for a long time. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
Who knows? I think that they're definitely putting all of their efforts towards the other stuff right now, unfortunately, even though that's something that is just asking for some help. I don't know.
It'll be interesting.
We'll see. Moving on, at Fam Travel Folio said more info on Pandora.
We'll talk about that soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then at What I'm Wearing to Disney said not Pandora at Disneyland.
She's hoping they say we're actually scrapping the whole entire plan for Pandora.
Not gonna
some people
happen.
land in that boat for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of boat, it's probably going to be a boat ride. But,
Probably, yes. Good fun. Next, we have at Alicia_Gray96, who said something new in Walt Disney World to compete with new Epic Universe.
Yes.
That would be good because
awesome.
there's some heavy competition there now. At It All Started with a Mouse 138 said Villains Land.
I think I'm almost most excited for this. If we hear about it, I mean, first time bringing in
This is a
villains.
big one. Yeah. I really
cool.
hope that there's something about that
Yeah.
talked about at D23. Next, we have at _Millie.Herrera, who said approved plans for a new attraction.
I think we'll get a couple of attractions, which we'll get to soon.
Yes.
I'm itching to just talk about it.
I know. Just jumping
Speaking
ahead.
on planned attractions, this next person actually came up with an idea that we actually have talked about many times before.
Yep.
But yeah, do you want to hit it up?
Yeah. This comes from at Joshua_Purvis32, who said they should announce a dark Aladdin ride where you're in the Cave of Wonders on a flying carpet trying to escape.
Now,
We've said that exact thing before.
flight of passage style.
Yeah.
I always thought it'd be cool in a Villain's Land, like we were just talking about. Cave of Wonders in Villain's Land. You go down there and you finally do.
Perfect idea.
I love the idea, Joshua. We've been wanting that for a long
Don't
time.
know how it hasn't happened yet, to be honest. Our last one comes from at Aubrey.kttw travel.
I know when I first saw it, I thought it was like kitty
I know.
travel.
I was trying to spell it out first. And I was like, no, I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
She said original movies that aren't a sequel. Agreed.
I would love that. Speaking of movies, speaking of movies, we're going to start with Friday because Friday night is the Disney Entertainment Showcase, which is all about movies and series. So that's on Friday night, August 9th at 7 p.m. at the Honda Center. But before we jump into this, thank you all to our amazing listeners for writing in your hopes and your dreams and your predictions about D23. This is always such an exciting time, and I cannot wait.
Exciting.
We'll be watching. Hopefully they do a live stream like they normally do.
I hope so.
Cannot wait. But the first night is all about the movies and series. And so will we hear something about an original movie like Aubrey said? I think we might hear some things original, especially when it comes to Pixar, right? We're getting Elio soon, so I think we'll probably see a trailer for that. However, I think most of the things in the works are probably sequels. I think what just was announced recently, I think we're going to get some Freaky Friday 2 plot details. I think that is really, really exciting. I'm also wondering if they're going to lean into this a little bit more. Maybe they're going to have an announcement of like another sequel to like a millennial favorite. I mean, there were so many. We talked about this before in the past. Our time, like, I mean, we had Parent Trap, we had Freaky Friday, we had National Treasure, we had Pirates starting, Princess Diaries. We had so many good live action and quote unquote originals, right? Like Parent Trap was technically a reboot or a remake, but we had such amazing movies during that time. I'm wondering if they're going to announce, I don't know, maybe like a sequel to a millennial favorite. We just had at the Hollywood Bowl, like I think an 80s to 90s Disney night, just celebrating that period of Disney movies. They had like a whole like huge power line presence from a Goofy movie. So I think they're going to be leaning into that kind of vein. I mean, because we love it so much. Like we were, I think the first like Disney adults to really, have this huge presence of like
definitely
millennial
like
Disney adults
when that term became a thing was like as we were becoming adults,
because the Renaissance period was just so great for Disney, and then now we're having kids, so we're like sharing our love of Disney to them. So I think they're gonna have some fun things with that. I also think we'll see a Moana 2 official trailer that will be announced. We've only seen like a teaser trailer,
and it looks good.
Yeah, it looks great. There's a lot of Moana right now with the live action one. They said that there's going to be that Moana series. I think that got turned into the movie. I think that was just kind of like a cover up. I think that was like a cover up, like, oh, we're doing this series and it's actually the movie.
It's a movie.
But speaking of series, do you want to talk about the next one here that we think they'll definitely give us probably a trailer for?
Yeah, I think that we will hear about a Tiana series coming.
Yeah, they announced that I think last D23. We haven't heard anything about it since, but since this is the year that Tiana's Bayou Adventure opens,
it would make a lot of sense for it to happen now for sure.
Yeah, and I think we need some more 2D animation stuff to watch. Happy. So I think that would be great. I also think, because it's coming out kind of, I think March of next year, I think we'll see some footage from Snow White. Which has
been quite a process.
Gone back and forth between multiple things. Remember, at first they were like, here are the magical creatures. And everyone was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this. And then later they posted like a picture of her with animated dwarves. And then it just, it seemed really weird. So it's like, are those people, did they cut all those people and now they're animating the dwarves? What are they doing? I think we'll see some footage, not a trailer. I think we're going to see some footage from this.
Or they just scrap the whole thing.
Or maybe they scrap the whole thing. So that it's like, I don't know. I don't know
what to expect there.
I think we might see, though, perhaps maybe like one little image is Toy Story 5 concept art. It doesn't come out till 2026, but I think they'll sprinkle some goodness. I don't know.
I would be pretty excited for that.
Yeah. I think that'd be so cool.
I'm still
it's probably going to be very minimal.
That.
Oh, no, I'm ready.
I'm excited as long as it's done well. Toy Story is the best franchise. What is it?
Yeah, franchise. Yeah.
Not series, but yeah, the best franchise that Pixar has. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it. I really hope that it's a great plot.
Yeah. I think we'll see, maybe hear a little bit about what it's going to be about and some concept art for that.
That was exciting.
I also think since Mufasa is coming out this year, we already have a trailer. I think they'll do something about the music because
it's very different from the original.
Yeah, because, Lion King has some of the best music out there, and now they're actually not redoing songs. They're creating songs out of nowhere. So I think we'll maybe see like a clip of like making of the, Mufasa the Lion King music, which would be really cool to hear some sounds from it. Yeah. Because we've already seen, the trailer. So maybe they'll give us a different angle there. Yeah.
Another one that I'm kind of torn on. I don't know. I think
on Mufasa?
Excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited, but it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah. I hope it's done good.
I hope so too. Sometimes the animation is just a little wonk for me, but
yeah, it's like too good.
Yeah.
That it needs. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah.
I think it'll be exciting though.
As long as they don't, I'm afraid they're going to pull too many themes from the Lion King. Like even in the trailer, I was like, oh, that looks like I Can't Wait to Be King. He's all dancing on the, I'm like, well, don't make it like that.
Yeah. A little bit too much.
Yeah. Kind of like in Mary Poppins Returns.
No, but that was done really well.
That was done really well. They had wasn't
like they copied it. It was just like similar concept.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm excited to see it, but but it is kind of a gamble. We'll see.
It is going to be interesting.
I think another thing we'll see is the Skeleton Crew trailer, which is another Star Wars show with Jude Law and said to be kind of like the Goonies meets Star Wars. So there was a poster that was recently put out. And so now with the poster, they're probably going to wait 2 weeks, put out the trailer. I think we'll see that. Do you want to, there's a big rumor here just drop this. I don't know if we'll hear anything about this, but we could hear something about this.
Okay. So one thing that we are thinking will be talked about is a potential Pirates of the Caribbean reboot, which is, who knows, but there's been talk about it. And apparently Jerry Bruckheimer has actually spoken on it, but it's a little confusing what is actually planned. I think that there's like a few different ideas that are possibly in the works. Yeah, like one being like a spinoff of the original series, And then another idea of just like something entirely new.
Yeah, like
Who
a
knows?
reboot. And there's also been rumors that Margot Robbie has been tapped for like a lead character. So I'm thinking maybe they're doing a movie about
Like a
the
whole
Pirate
separate
Red.
thing.
You know?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
I don't like the reboot idea because I
it's so
love the
good
original.
already,
It's so classic. So I don't like a reboot. I don't mind if there's a spin-off and it's following a new pirate story.
Yeah.
But just to toss out,
all of those characters,
Captain Jack Sparrow and all that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They're all so classic. It would be really hard to like watch a Pirates movie that is supposed to be like in that same universe and have it like not be about them.
Yeah.
Or not even have them in it. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't even mind like if they could do it well to do a series, but like high production value, something like that. That would be cool. But I think that we may hear something, maybe a cast announcement or like just a direction that they want to go with Pirates. This is more on the less likely scale than the other ones we talked about, because the other ones we definitely know are in the works. It's just like we'll have trailers or footage or concept art of this, but this, I think they have to announce something new.
Yeah.
In the midst of something that's already in development that we know about. So this one might actually happen.
Maybe.
Which would be weird. I don't know how I feel about it, but I guess I'll see after they talk about it.
Definitely like kind of either way until I know for sure what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see. But the last one we have here for the entertainment showcase that's going to be on Friday night is an announcement of a new Disney Broadway show or something like that, because in the description it talks about, we're going to talk about the movies, the series, and stage shows. Maybe that's referring to the Little Mermaid stage show that's going to be in Hollywood Studios. But I just originally was thinking, why wouldn't that be in the Parks and Experiences panel the next day? So I'm thinking we'll see something. I think a good Broadway show would be like a Moana, but I guess we'll see. Could be interesting, but they almost made it seem like they were talking about that. And Disney Broadway shows are always a must. Yeah, I would love to go see. We've seen Aladdin and the Lion King. I'd love to see Frozen, Beauty and the Beast. Oh yeah, it'd be really cool. But yeah, we might hear something. I'm just saying maybe that's a possibility. But let's get to the part that we're all very excited for. Saturday night is going to be the Disney Experiences Showcase at 7 p.m. at the Honda Center. And so should we start in Walt Disney World?
All right. So first up for Walt Disney World, we think that something that they will be talking about is the Tropical Americas that are going to be coming to Animal Kingdom, replacing Dino Land area, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah,
it's kind of sad for a lot of people.
Sorry for the Dino Land diehards out there.
So
but
sorry. Yeah. I mean, it was fun and all, but I think that this is a fun retheme. I think it's going to be good. Indiana Jones will be coming, but supposedly is not going to be a like copycat version of ours over here in Disneyland.
Yeah, there's some rumors that it's going to fit within the Tropical America theme. So even though the track is the same, Dinosaurs track is the same as ours, they might just switch up the whole theme, which would be great.
I think that would be cool.
Because I love our indie, but I always want some variety. So I feel the need to go over there and check out theirs. Yeah.
So it's not just like, I've already been on that. Like,
imagine a very Tropical America's like, I don't know, rainforesty vibe inside. I don't know. You could do a lot of cool things.
Cool. I don't know. But also Encanto concept art, because that will also be coming to that area. And yeah, I think it would be really cool to get some art. Yeah,
I think it works so perfectly there because you have Africa and Asia there, and then doing Tropical Americas. Originally, I was like, why isn't that going in Epcot? And then I was like, oh, no, because you already have Africa and Asia there. So I think they'll talk a little bit about Indiana Jones. I think they'll confirm or deny if it's a clone or not, maybe show some concept art for that. Yeah. And then in Encanto, I think we'll hear what the ride system is and what's going to kind of be featured in it. So I guess we'll see. But the next thing we think they're going to be talking about is Beyond Big Thunder. And this is the really exciting one. This area is going to have Coco and it's going to have villains. And so I think we will hear maybe a little bit more about the Coco side, because there are rumors that this is going to come in 2 phases. The first phase being Coco that they'll focus on. So kind of like, south of the the western border, which is perfect for Beyond Thunder, right? Villains, what do they live? They live in the southern hemisphere as well. I don't know. It's so weird that it's kind of within that area, but I think we'll definitely get concept art and maybe show what the ride system is going to look like for Coco. I've been waiting for a Coco ride for a very long time. So for that actually coming, I think that's going to be great. I think we will hear about villains, and I think we'll hear, because with Coco, it's like, obviously this is Coco. There's going to be a Coco ride. I think with villains, they might actually talk about what villains we'll see there. I would love to hear. We heard this for the first time, all of these things last year, very kind of blue sky, but they are working on it now. I think they'll name some names. What if we see Maleficent here? What if we see Jafar or something? And I think whatever they say, they're either thinking of a ride for that or a restaurant or an experience. So I think we'll definitely, everyone's excited for a Disney villain. So I think we'll definitely get some more info on that, but I cannot wait. Yeah, that's one thing I'm really excited for. I'm pretty pumped about that. That's been needed for a long time, I think. Yeah, I think we're all excited to find out. And it's going to be in Magic Kingdom, which is awesome. Yeah, it's so perfect. Cool. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is the possibility of a Moana ride coming to Disney World. Yeah. This was something that was talked about at the last D23. There was some concept art shown that kind of indicated that it was going to be something Moana themed. Yeah. They said there could be. Imagine a Moana thing, but not concrete. Yeah. Nothing for sure, of course. But, you know, it was talked about and we think that it would probably land in the Adventureland area, somewhere kind of around where Pirates is in Magic Kingdom. So yeah, it'd be great to get confirmation on that ride. Yeah. And maybe a little bit more details about what to expect on that ride. Yeah. I think Adventureland would be a perfect area for it. We have seen actually in the past a couple of patents for a new log flume ride that kind of mimics the waves of the ocean, which I think is a little bit tricky to do because you don't want anyone to get seasick or anything like that. But there's not multiple different, not too realistic. There's a couple of different patents that they have signed for or asked about. I don't know. One is like a motion simulator, but for a boat. So you're like in a big dome, kind of like Flight of Passage, but you're on the water and you're seeing all these things around you and you move up and down. I don't know. I would love to get confirmation of like a ride system that they're going to use or something like that, or concept art. But yeah, Moana, I mean, Moana was one of the best Disney movies within the past, I'm going to say 10 years, but I'm also, was it 2016? It came out, so we're almost like, we're almost out of that 10 years, but now they're working on Moana 2. It'd be a perfect time to, you know, drop some news about this. They're also going to be doing the live action Moana, which I think is a little bit too much, but we love Moana so much. So to have a ride here, these would all be great additions. Imagine that Indiana Jones, which, you know, is already there, but for new things, Encanto, Coco, Villains, Moana. These are great properties within the past couple of years, and they would be such amazing additions. And they're not using, you know, things that we've already known. A lot of parks are getting frozen, all this stuff. It'd be great to have these new additions here. But the last one that we have for Disney World, I think this is more on the unlikely side. However, if it comes up, then I guess this is more of like a, oh, I can't believe I got that right. But there are rumors right now that a Lion King attraction may be coming to Animal Kingdom. I guess it would have to be in like the Africa section. There's also rumors that it could be a boat ride, which I think is very strange. They should take my suggestion of doing the Indiana Jones style. But if Indiana Jones is already coming there, you can't have two rides with the same system. But I think they're doing a lot of boat things, right? We look at what happened in Tokyo. The Rapunzel one is a boat. You can just fit a lot of people on there. Yeah. And then you get it. Make any sense. But I mean, I know it doesn't. It's like Lion King is very deserty. Very, dry and everything. All of it, but yeah, if you're like on a river and you get to see all these show scenes, like, I guess that'd be cool. It would be cool. We do need Lion King though. So this is a stretch, but this would be the only new idea within our list because they've already talked about Indiana Jones, Encanto, Coco, Villains, and Moana in a very tentative state. So I think we'll get concrete there. But if they want to sprinkle in a could be, I think the Lion King one would be cool that they have not talked about. Yeah. But that's a very small possibility. But let's jump to our home park, Disneyland, because Disneyland Forward just got approved recently. I guess I could start here, but I think we could hear 2 concrete plans for Disneyland Forward. I think there's going to be more that they will maybe float. Like, wouldn't it be cool if you got this here and this?
Like, well, it would.
It would. Now,
are we going to?
I think that they're going to solidify 2 things. We already know that Avatar Pandora is coming. So I think they're going to double down on that. Maybe show us new concept art. But I think the other one, and there's no like rumors necessarily about this, but I think the other one that they're going to come out and say is Frozen. I think they're going to solidify Pandora and Frozen so that you have one on California Adventure side and one on Disneyland. And then I think the rest will be just kind of ideas that they're not committed to yet. I think we'll get 2 concrete plans for those.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. And I also think we're going to hear at least where Pandora is going to be. I think they'll tell us that. And do you want to kind of say here?
This is something that we had talked about for a while. Like, where would they put it? If it's coming here, like, where would it make the most sense for it to go? And this is not what I had predicted. Yeah. It doesn't feel right to me, but maybe it will be done well. But supposedly it could be coming to the Hollywood backlot, which I have been saying that area needs some sort of direction because it's very disjointed right now. Yeah. It's kind of all over the place. Pandora is not what I had in mind. It's just such a like modern area right now that like the world of Pandora, just that's not where my brain like imagined it going. I don't know where I really thought it would be. Maybe like where
there was another rumor that it could take over the Redwood Creek Challenge area.
Right. That's what we
because it's already kind of.
I don't think it would be big enough.
I don't think it'd be big enough. And the Hollywood backlot does not seem big enough too. But there's rumors that they might expand the park out to where the bus loop is. So they might expand that and do something different about the buses coming in, or you know, like a new gateway to get into Disneyland. But that's what I heard as a rumor. I think it's kind of strange and a little weird, but I think they will tell us where that's going to go. I think they're going to tell us where that is. And also Pandora, from the concept art, it looks like it's going to be the Way of Water. So the sequel one, which I think is cool to switch up from another one, right? Because Star Wars is the same on both coasts. It'd be cool if Avatar was a little bit different. And there's talks that the ride system will be kind of like the Shanghai Pirates of the Caribbean, which would be amazing. Like, I don't think we need Pandora. That's not like the thing I'm most excited for. But if we get a ride that is like that, then that'd be great. You have Flight of Passage over there, and then like that Shanghai Pirates, you know, water ride with screens and that perfect blend. I would be all for that. That would be fun, so if it takes Avatar to get something like that over here, I'm all for that. But I also think we will get more info on the Avengers e-ticket attraction that has been sadly just sitting there for a long time. You know, it just had Spider-Man and Avengers Campus and nothing else. I think we'll get more concept art, and I wouldn't be surprised if they had like the ride vehicle out there on display, like in the convention hall. That would be so cool. You kind of see it. And there's rumors that this could be something similar to the Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure ride. I believe that's what it's called at Tokyo Disney Sea Fantasy Springs, which is a really cool ride system. Maybe they'll make it a little more thrilling. Cause that one looks great, but I think, you know, I think they'll make it a little more, you know, fun and everything, but that's a really cool screen with, you know, motion simulation and physical environment. So we could see something like that. I think they'll definitely give us more details on that, but there's no construction. I hope they're doing something inside that building. Really I don't see any construction, but I'm like, Avengers Campus has been open for so long. with just one ride. I'm like, let's just get on this.
No news about it.
Let's just do it.
One single ride there, technically, if you don't count Mission Breakout, which I have a hard time counting it. But
yeah. I know it. Yeah, that's right. I always forget that Mission Breakout's there.
it doesn't feel like it fits in that.
It feels like it's in the Hollywood backlot.
Yeah, which is also just disjointed anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that area definitely has been in need of a more exciting something ride. You
know what? Since we're right where Mission Breakout is and the Hollywood backlot, going back to like entertainment and stage shows, I hope they finally announce something at the HappiestHour Theater.
Oh my God.
I hope they,
true.
I just thought of that, but yeah, let's get something in there because it's just a vacant building. Yeah.
Do something, please.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. That's really, which is surprising. That's really all we for sure think will happen for Disneyland Forward, because I think Disneyland Forward just got announced. And like I said, I think there's going to be tentative things that will be coming. I think some examples would be like, maybe we'll see Tangled, maybe we'll see Toy Story, maybe we'll see Tron or something. We might get some things like that, but I think it's going to be very blue sky. Like maybe this will come. I'm not really sure, but we have some like wild ideas here just to end off the episode. Just a couple things that probably won't be announced, but this first one we've heard that they're working on something, and then the last two are just kind of our own, just out of the blue kind of thing. So I'll start with this first one. There is a rumor going around that they are working on this project called Project Kansas.
What could that be?
It's either Wizard of Oz, Kansas, or it refers to Kansas City, where Walt Disney lived for a lot of his life. And, maybe they're working on a Walt animatronic. I know actually last week we talked about quickly, and we've talked about it in another episode too, that a Walt Disney ride would be amazing. I don't think it would be that necessarily. I think it would be amazing to do, his life through a ride. You get to go through all the failures and the successes of Walt Disney from a kid to growing up and moving to California and all that stuff. That'd be great. But there's rumors that it could be added to like the great moments with Mr. Lincoln, maybe introducing Abraham Lincoln, like one of his first great animatronics there. I'm not really sure. That would be really, really cool. I don't think that they'll actually talk about that. Maybe they'll save that for a little bit later, but we have two other ones here that are these are just kind of speculations that I don't think I've heard anyone else really talk about, but
it could make sense.
Yeah. Do you want to get this next one?
Yeah. So we noticed on the event page for D23 that there is a specific section that is just like a meet and greet for Bluey and Bingo. And we were thinking how fun it would be if they kind of took that concept and brought it into the parks. Maybe like where the Disney Junior like dance party thing happens, to have Bluey and Bingo there. Maybe they have their own little show or something. I would love that, because I mean, technically it's not Disney made, right? It's made in Australia, so by one of their things, but it is. But now they're having it at D23, and it's going to be like at a Disney Plus section, so they have the rights to use it. But honestly, if they put a Bluey and Bingo show in that area, I'd be there. Yeah, I would be going to the park just to see that. Like everyone wants to meet Bluey and Bingo. That's like a huge thing. And of course, the Chili and Bandit would be amazing to meet. So I think that would just increase, ticket sales and everything. And for that show would be incredible. It would be like absurdly packed trying to like meet them. And right now, I don't think that area ever gets really packed. So that would be like lines to meet them or to see a show of theirs. Yeah. Such a fun idea. Oh, it'd be so cool. But I think just them having them at D23 shows like that close partnership with that Australian studio. And, there's probably something budding there because it has been for a long time with Disney and Disney Plus. So that would be really cool. I think maybe we'll hear something about that. But the last one we have here, and I think there's no real rumors here on this, but I think it would be amazing because like we've said, a lot of these things are things they've already talked about, and they're just going to solidify and show us more about these. But this, an Inside Out ride, whether that's coming to Epcot
or Disneyland Forward, I think it would fit in both areas. Epcot's all about, edutainment, learning with it, entertainment and all this stuff. So learning about the inside of your mind and the emotions and all that stuff, that'd be perfect in Epcot. Mm-hmm. If they somehow with Pixar Pier could expand that with Disneyland Forward and put an Inside Out ride
and
in that section.
The one that is there that is pointless.
Yeah. Currently. Well, not even remove it. I would say keep it there.
Well, I just mean remove the theme.
Yeah, remove the theme. I would say move that, which is the emotional whirlwind. Put some houses and some balloons up there. You got an up attraction that is perfect for that ride system.
Totally perfect.
But then Inside Out in general just needs a good dark ride where you go into the mind. I always thought it would be cool to do something like Adventures Through Inner Space, which was the old ride where Star Tours is now. Yeah. Everyone loved that. But, you could have that similar, it looks like you're shrinking and you're going into a mind to explore something like that. Everyone loves Inside Out. So we need a ride there. And of course they're going to do an Inside Out 3. So it's going to be a good investment to have a ride there, but that's one of the best, franchises in Pixar. So I think that'd be cool if they announce a ride.
I would love it if Inside Out got some more love, because Inside Out 2 blew me away. It is like back to being like some of my favorite Pixar movies. Yeah. I would love it if there was some more of that going on. I'm moving this after talking about it. I'm saying they're going to name drop Inside Out. Wow, you're calling it. I'm saying that there's gonna be some sort of like, imagine if Inside Out comes here, like one of those we're not tied down to it. I'm gonna say they have to talk about it. They have to be thinking about it after that huge box office success. So I'm calling it. Yep. All right. It's gonna be good. Prediction made. We'll see. Ooh, so good. Well, D23 is in 2 weeks. Obviously, after D23, we are going to be breaking down all of our thoughts on everything that's announced. So definitely, if you're watching on YouTube and you aren't already subscribed or on a podcasting platform and you do not follow, you got to follow so you hear our thoughts on all these hopefully exciting announcements. Hopefully it's not a big bummer. Better not be another letdown one. I know. It's going to be crazy, but definitely make sure to check back in after D23 to hear us break down if we're excited, if we're let down, and what we could expect from everything. I just cannot wait. It's going to be a fun time for sure. But with that, we just wanted to say thank you for listening to this episode and supporting. It truly means a lot. We love you guys so much, and we will see you guys next week for another episode of the Happiest Hour on Earth. See you guys then. Bye, guys. Bye. See you then.